Hey guys, so today's video is going to be another new old stock Briggs and Stratton build. And it says the box this small block came in. This is another aluminum bore, but it's got the dual shaft like at the tiller engine. And I don't know what I'm going to be using it for. I just wanted to fix it up. And it don't have the points cover here, so I'm assuming this is probably an early 90s block. There's no date code on it. And this is a brand new sprout off eBay. I popped a plug out there for the switch, but you don't have the recoil, so you have to take it off of another one or buy it separate. And I have an old one. And this is not a new head. This is one that's in really good shape. I had laying around. You see it almost looks new. Probably came off a low hours engine. And I got the brand new cylinder cover. I got the brand new cylinder cover that will go on the head here. I am going to paint everything on this one. I'm going to go with red. If y'all remember my orange 5 horsepower with the whole block and everything's orange, I'm kind of doing this one like it. So I'm going to mask off the top of the piston and valves and the shafts, and probably go ahead and put a valve cover in here if I can find it, and go from there. I need to clean this crankshaft up there where it's rusted some. But I think it's going to be an interesting project. And it's not going to be all new old stock parts. But I'd say probably 70 or 80% new or new old stock stuff going on it. Some things you just can't find new. Alright, so I cleaned that up with a little bit of 320 emery claw. And I just wanted to show the cylinder. Everybody used to talk about the aluminum bore cylinders weren't honed. But you can see they come from the factory honed. And it's just not recommended to do it when you rebuild them, because you usually use the chrome rings in them. Alright guys, so I got everything masked off here about the best I could get. It don't have to be perfect. The head's going to cover most of this. I did find a brand new valve spring cover and put it in there, put a piece of tape inside it. Tape the shafts off and the oil fill, the oil drain plugs. Basically everything I don't want red got masked off. I need to trim that right there. I think what we're going to do, I'm going to paint this red just like it is, and this red. Then the recoil part I'm going to paint black. I'm going to paint the head black. And this will probably be red too. That way there's just a little bit of breaking up the red a little bit. And besides the air filter I got, it's black already, factory Briggs paint on it. So I'm just going to leave that alone. Alright guys, we got everything painted here. I did use an old carburetor, as you see. It's still got a little bit of the old paint left, but it ain't that bad. Time to be covered up with the air breather there, and the muffler just sitting in there. I just used that to let it dry a little longer so nothing would be touching it or anything. But it turned out pretty good. The block's got a slight texture to it from the casting. It's a rougher casting than the older blocks had. I say this is an early 90s block, just going by how it's machined and everything. Did have to tap this. It didn't have threads in it for the So that makes me think it was for the newer type of carburetor that wasn't on the tank but gravity fed. But I think it turned out pretty good. See, I put that piece of tin on there. I will be filing the front of this to make sure it's got a good ground on the coil. And masked everything off the best I could, and it looks pretty good too, because you can still see the your aluminum ring there, and masked off the oil drain plugs. Got the head painted. The head turned out pretty good. The tank turned out pretty good, and I wasn't too happy with this because it had paint on it before, but you're not gonna notice it from a distance. I left the original sticker on that. I can always change it out later to the magnetron type. The shroud turned out pretty good. It's like a semi-gloss paint, what that is. So let's review the new parts that we'll be using on it so far. The block is new muffler. It's a fairly new head. It's low air head. Brand new recoil. I did paint the inside of it too, just to help keep it from rusting, in case it is ever exposed to water. See, I missed a spot there. I did paint the inside of this too, just to keep it from rusting. This is new. You see, there's the original Briggs primer. So the block, muffler, shroud, and cylinder covers and the gas cap. So far, the new parts going into it. Did rebuild the carburetor. All new parts in it. I was expecting a more deeper red color than this. It's almost like a reddish orange color. I want to show you the paint, the brand, and the color. That way, if you like this, you know what to get, and if you don't like it, you know what not to get. So, it's VHT brand paint. It's rated for up to 550 degrees. It's bright red. They also had a Ford red, which is a little bit darker, and that's probably what I should have went with. I think it'll be alright too. I kind of like it, you know. Alright, so it's been several weeks, about 2 or 3 weeks now, and I'm just letting the paint cure, and I just haven't had a chance to do anything more to it. I just put the shield on there, and I put the governor arm on here too. I just got it set on there. I don't have the linkages right now, so right now it's going to be set up without the governor hooked up. I did put the recoil on. And the decal turned out pretty good, I think. Alright, so I poured a little bit of oil in the cylinder just to help keep it from starting dry, because this motor's never been ran. Okay, so we got the new head gasket that came with the block. Got the head here and the shroud. You gotta put this on now because some of the head bolts go down through it. Kind of wish I painted that black just to go with the head more, but get all these bolts started. And before I forget, I'm going to file the coil mount post so the coil will get its ground. That's all you got to do there. Alright, so I got some of these bolts here. They're 1/4 and they're flange bolts. I'm trying to use many hardware store bolts as I can on stuff like this. Even the head bolts are, which if you can, I'd recommend using actual Briggs and Stratton. But for everything else, it's going to be alright. But I just wanted to show you these in case you need to find the bolts that hold the covers on. Just use these 1/4, 1/2 inch long. It don't have to be that serrated flange, like it can be a straight flange. You can use a regular 1/4 bolt with just a washer or a lock washer if you want, but I just think these look a little bit better. Alright, so I got the carburetor bolted. Don't forget the gasket. It's easy to forget that on there. Got the bolt end down here. So now we're ready to put the flywheel on and the coil. Got a brand new coil to put on it. I had to use a regular machine screw because I couldn't find no more of these. This is what's supposed to be in. This is too long, so I had to put a spacer on this one. But for right now, it'll be alright. And I used an offset screwdriver to get a little bit of extra torque on there to make sure it's not going to come loose. So now I got to hook up a kill wire to it. There's supposed to be a little shield right here on this coil. and I don't have one to put on it, and even if I did, the way this coil's made, it don't have the piece that holds it, so it would probably come loose if I did put it on. All it does is direct more air over here towards the valve part, but it should be alright, especially with this top shroud and this shroud on there. It should be alright, I would think. We just have to keep an eye on everything. So I just ran a wire off here, and I'm going to run up here by the spark plug wire way and just short on a bolt or something to shut it off, and I think it'd be alright like that. Alright guys, so it's ready for gas. I didn't got oil put in it. The only thing I can't find is the plug that goes in there where the kill switch will be, so maybe I'll just try to find a switch to put in there later on, and for now I'll just leave it like that. I did take some pictures outside of it. I'll put in towards the end of the video, and I think it turned out pretty good. Like I said, it's non-governed, so I just got a throttle control on there. So I just got to put some gas in it. We'll see what she does. Oh, something else I forgot to point out, I was able to use the screen on this one. I went off the mini bike engine I painted for. So I got gas in there. The only problem I'm expecting, the choke's loose on this one. So I figure the choke will open when I crank it, but it may not. I got about half a tank of gas. It'll probably take at least 2 or 3 pumps to get fuel up to the carburetor. So see what happens. Yeah, it's trying to close. Seemed to be running really good, and the reason it wasn't starting, the throttle plate was closing all the way. The idle speed was set way too low, so that's what the problem was there at first. So I turned that screw almost all the way in on the throttle, then finally got it running and adjusted it in from there. That was what the problem was with it. I thought something seemed funny, but if I had the throttle linkage rods and the governor hooked up, it wouldn't have done that. It would have ran at the higher RPMs, but it's probably got about 10 or 15 minutes on it, so I'm going to go ahead and drain the oil out and put some good oil in it. I've got cheap oil in it right now just to break it in with. So now I'm going to put some Valvoline in it, 30 weight, and it'll be good to go for whatever I'm going to use it on, which I'm not sure yet. I might just put it underneath here at the workbench with the other dual shaft 5 horsepower for right now. Alright, so I figured I'd add it on the video, the way the video would be complete. It was bugging me seeing that hole there, so I decided to buy the switch for it. It just snaps in and you hook your wire up to that post there. And how these work, when you turn it, that piece of metal touches that tab right there and shorts it out and shuts it off. Very simple switch. It was right at $15 for that switch. So all I'm going to do is just put a terminal on there and slide it on there and put the cover back on. Here's the part number for that switch. Well guys, I think it's complete now. The switch being black goes with the theme of everything here. So if you got any questions or comments, feel free to leave a comment below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. So thanks for watching. We'll catch you later.